7, Team Hochberg Traffic Center time and Jim.
Traffic in general is lighter than usual, but where there are crashes, we are seeing some heavy delays. Kennedy inbound at Stop and Go Canfield to Kimball with a collision. 2 center lanes are blocked. It's 45 minutes O'Hare to downtown. A little quicker on the express. Outbound 32 minutes to O'Hare from downtown. Eden's 22 minutes. Lake Cook Junction, outbound 19. About Eisenhower, a crash at Manheim is gone. We're looking at 53 minutes, 390 to downtown. Outbound 39 after a crash at Central. Stevenson, 46 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound 30. Ryan is 23 minutes, 95 to downtown. I-57, 20 minutes, 90 to the merge. Bishop 427. The northbound Tri-State has delays. The other tollways are light. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next in our 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center. We're seeing fair skies this morning. Maybe a couple of showers that develop late in the afternoon. High 62. Evening showers persist. Low 35. 38 degrees officially at O'Hare. Next news coming up at 8. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560 The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by On Target Radio. From firearms and Second Amendment rights to personal freedoms and government intrusions. Listen here Sunday nights at 9.
When you've got questions, he always has an answer. It's Sean Hannity this afternoon at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. We're coming to you live this morning from Global Water Supply, part of our AM 560 Signature Bank Business Tour. And we're pleased to be joined with 2 gentlemen who make this company go. Carl Cameron is the VP of Operations, and Pat Morgan is the VP of Sales. Gentlemen, thanks for hosting us. Good to have you on the show.
Thank you, Dan. We appreciate you coming in.
Well, as we sort of indicated earlier in the show, this conversation and our site visit today dovetails nicely with all the coronavirus talk, because a part of what you guys do for your clients is manage their water supply, keep it clean and safe. So we're talking a lot about airborne pathogens, and you guys deal with waterborne pathogens.
Yeah, we definitely do. That's just kind of one part of our value proposition.
So give us the whole value proposition, but then maybe an example or two, because we've had some cases in Illinois, high-profile cases of, say, Legionnaire's disease at a hotel downtown, at Illinois Veterans Homes.
So really, kind of from the get-go, we want to manage the environment of our clients' water. So as everybody kind of knows, water can be scale-forming, it can be corrosive, but in the right sense, it can also, provide a movement for microbiological activity. And so our job really is to manage that environment from front to end, to protect our clients and protect the people that work there.
And give us an example. Like, I know we were talking off air about you got involved with the outbreak of Legionella at Illinois Veterans Home in Quincy.
Oh, actually, no, we did not get involved.
Oh, okay.
In that.
But
how could you, like, if that happens,
what
does your company do to come in and eradicate the problem?
Well, one of the things that we try to do actually is manage our clients' incoming water. So in that specific instance, we talk with our client base about trying to manage their water as it comes in and treat the water ahead of time.
And Pat, clients are public sector and private sector across the board?
Yes, we deal with anything from high rises downtown to hospitals, hotels, bigger industry plants, things like that.
And so what are some of the challenges, whether it's a retail environment or a commercial environment like a hotel or a big manufacturing concern? What are some of the challenges that they need you to address?
Well, it really starts with how they actually use their water. So say in an industrial marketplace, they're using the water as part of the process, maybe as heating or cooling. Water being a universal solvent, it can be very corrosive to their systems. It can be scale forming. So we look at ways to manage that water, even though, right behind us here, we're a chemical manufacturer. The fact of the matter is we want to provide a more sustainable solution for our clients, and sometimes that means an equipment aspect to it. where we can change what the water looks like prior to going into their system, and then it doesn't require as much chemical adjustment.
But then when it comes out, you make sure that it's safe.
Exactly. I mean, the reason why there aren't a lot of people in the office today is they're all out in the field.
Yeah. And how many employees do you have?
We have 75.
Okay. And what's a typical day for one of your employees?
Hopefully they're getting up early and they head out to their client sites, and they run chemical testing. They speak with the clients on if there's anything that needs to be done, and they just make sure that the chemistry is in range and the equipment's working properly.
What's the history of the business and the choice of South Holland for the location?
Well, our company started it's 30 years is our anniversary this year.
Congratulations.
Thank you. But Mike Byerly's mother started the company, so we're both minority and woman-owned. We're now minority-owned, but we moved to South Holland a year and a half ago from Orland Park, and we had a very small 3,000 square foot office. We came here. We built out a 16,000 square foot facility. Within a year, we're running out of space already. So it was a great place, location-wise, off the expressways for everyone, and just easy access, and it was a good price too. So.
Well, yeah, I'm sure, and so except for the property taxes piece of it.
Don't bring that up, Dan. We're having such a good time.
But growth. So you obviously been growing and rather rapidly. So what's the basis for the growth?
Well, I look at it as twofold. We look at it as organic and inorganic. Organic meaning our people that are on the team already making new sales, and then our growth as we acquire other companies also. We've been spreading out across the country in the last 5 years, mostly by acquisition.
And is this are you one of the bigger players? I mean, how much competition is there in this space? I would think with the manufacturing base in Chicago, and as Carl was mentioning, the use of water in the manufacturing process, there would be competition.
Yeah, well, in the industry, there's usually, you look at 3 or 4 main international players who are across the country, and they get a lot of the national contracts. But then we have a good amount of regional type of competition, basically, all over.
So you're Chicago, Northwest Indiana. I mean, what's your sort of radius?
Well, we have operations in 12 states in the Midwest. We're on the East Coast. We're newly out on the West Coast, Southwest. We have operations really across the country, and that's our goal, is to continue growth across the U.S.
So you want to be one of those international players that you talk about with the national contracts.
Absolutely.
Great. Wow. And so tell us a little bit about the employees here, because one of the things we hear often when we go on site visits, even if it's a little bit challenging for the policy environment reasons to do business in Chicago, the things that keep companies here and keep them expanding here, the talent pool, and as you were just mentioning too, the transportation infrastructure, the centrality of the location.
Yeah, I think one thing about Global that sets us a little bit, and maybe Carl would like to talk about this too, but we have a very tight-knit, almost a family type of situation here within our company, and I think it's different from a lot of companies out there. Our growth has gone such leaps and bounds over the last 5 years that it's been a little bit difficult to keep it like that, but I really feel like we have a little bit different type of thing going on here in terms of how we treat our employees.
Yeah.
Real good.
Yeah, so the turnover rate, like what's the average?
How long have you guys been with the company?
Lifelongers?
I mean, I didn't have any. My brother was in this industry for 30 years. So when he was out of work, I helped him find a job here. I ended up meeting Mike Byerly, the owner.
Oh.
We got together. He needed some help in sales. My background was in publishing and marketing and sales. So I came in and over here and tried out what we were doing to just basically grow our volume, get in front of more people, stay in front of them in a positive way, and, finally get their business.
And you're
Carl,
new. You're a newbie
story.
here, right?
I am, yeah, but I've been in the industry for roughly 30 years.
And you're so good that they came to get you, right? You got recruited.
I'd like to think
you went
that.
first
Well,
round, huh?
Yeah. I mean, actually, what Pat said is really true. In the case of Global, it all starts with leadership. And Mike, even though he is a young leader, makes a lot of really great business decisions. And I don't know of a firm in our industry, and I mean nationwide, that has had the kind of growth rate that we have. So Pat talks about, two types of growth. And mergers and acquisitions are always on the table for Mike. But the fact of the matter is, equally, we have had organic growth where our people in the field are offering what they need to offer, that the clients find it very important. So it's been a very cool thing to be here.
Other than manufacturing, what are some other sectors that you think present a lot of growth opportunity for you?
Healthcare, commercial, light industrial, HVAC, all of that.
Another big area is wastewater also. So the treatment of wastewater to clean it before people can dump it in their process.
And do you get involved at all with sort of the big public health water operations like MWRD projects, that sort of thing? Or is that that's sort of a different kettle?
Typically not, simply because in that case, like the MWRD, they can buy from an open market chemical vendor, and there really wouldn't be a lot of profit for us.
Yeah, and they've got all sorts of in-house
staff.
operations
Yeah.
and staff, so it's just a different thing.
Yep.
And I understand, too, you have been on a golf course a time or two,
Oh,
Carl?
A time or two, yeah.
And you maybe like to engage in wagering on the golf course?
Yeah, it's funny. My son-in-law and his best friend actually wanted to take one of my very good friends and I on in golf. So we were in Florida over the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
We played a game called Vegas, and of course, the mouthing off started about 2 weeks ago. with
Right.
These
Oh, yeah.
millennials
Right,
telling
yeah.
me that they're gonna beat us.
Mm-hmm.
And
And
at the end of the day, it really didn't turn out that way, Amy.
oh, great.
And what's your index?
I'm a 10.9.
Oh.
And you're a 3.7.
Yeah, we could do a little
Wow.
ham and egg. I mean, if
I
you
think
want
we could.
to, if you get some time off, or if we could, do a field day, and we'll go
Exactly.
out and maybe work with the club circuit here, make a little bit of
Oh,
side
yeah,
cash.
there you go.
All right, very good.
Yeah.
Carl Cameron, he is the VP of Operations, and Pat Morgan, who we've been speaking with, who is the VP of Sales at Global Water Supply, where we. I'm sorry.
Technology.
Oh. Global Water
Water
Technology.
Technology.
Yeah, sorry about that. Global Water
Sorry.
Technology.
I was working
I'm
earlier.
Thinking supply. You gotta stay on me. Global Water Technology in South Holland, where we are broadcasting live today, part of our AM 560 Signature Bank Business Tour. Thanks, guys.
Thank you,
News,
guys.
opinion, insight. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Families collapsing, marriages seemingly without purpose, youth professing no faith at all, our so-called nuns. How to rebuild. Scripture teaches that the family is the domestic church, the key to faith formation, to a rational and purposeful life. Relying on deep dives into 21st century data analytics and best practices in relationship ministry, Communio's John Paul DeGance argues that more and better marriage preparation and replenishing the grace in marriages already entered into can rebuild broken relationships, broken families, and even broken communities, with astounding results. On March 13th, the Catholic Citizens Forum Luncheon presents J.P. DeGance on Restoring the Domestic Church, How to Rebuild Failing Marriages, Families, and Communities. To make your reservation, go to CatholicCitizens.org. That's CatholicCitizens.org. Or call Maureen at 708-352-5834. Space is limited. Reserve now.
Believe it or not, but spring is right around the corner, so how are you going to shed the winter weight you've put on? If you aren't sure or just need to try something different this year, then it's time you call NJ Diet. With NJ Diet, you can lose a contractually guaranteed 20 to 50 plus pounds in only 40 days. That's right, 20 to 50 pounds contractually guaranteed in 40 days. NJ Diet's doctor-supervised program utilizes bioenergetically personalized supplements based on your hair, saliva, and blood work. NJ Diet also uses DNA testing to create your ideal diet plan and workout regimen to help you keep the weight